Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Featherhoof.
And I'm CarnagePanda.
And we are here for Anime Talk Winter 2019, Week 4. Yes?
Yeah, 4.
Yes.
4. You got it right. Yes.
Yes! Yes! I got it! Yeah! Where,
Now the second part, where we still don't know everybody's names.
we're in Week 4.
4.
So, of course, we don't know their names yet. This is a 13 week season. We gotta get to week 10 before we recognize all their names by then. Come on.
Yeah. Well, somewhere around there, that's when we usually figure it out.
Yeah. But we're back to our weekly format because, God decided it didn't hate us anymore. It hates the people further north of us. But, we have been spared.
The polar vortex has left, and we can actually walk outside now without dying horribly.
Yeah, I actually walked out without a jacket today, which was awesome.
Yeah, you can walk outside without a shorts and everything now. And
I'm not walking without shorts because that's called nudity, and I'll get arrested for that shit.
No, you can wear with shorts. Maybe if you want to go out there in your boxers or your briefs and just have some fun, okay, but...
Well, until the cops show up, because I think that's called indecent exposure.
Start beating you.
No, I'm white. I don't get that.
Oh, wow.
So, where did we go? This is the show. The show is right here, and we went, woo, way over there.
We kind of went, woo.
Here is show. We're in red fucking China over here.
That kind of went loopy.
So we saw our 5 animes. Actually, we saw more than that. We actually had some fun with some other anime too, but we're only here to talk about our 5. I really don't have a lot of complaints today, to be perfectly honest. But it was a decent week. Some were better than others, but we'll get into that as we get into our list. How did you feel about this week overall, before we get into it? Was it a happy week for you? An week for you?
You know what? I like this week. I was completely down with everything. We haven't had a Terabad show since Angels of Death.
Which was like 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago.
Well, remember, we are on week 4. All right? I'm worrying because we have next week. Last season, week 5 was Terabad.
Yeah.
So we have... The badness might be coming. But that's not yet. That's not yet, because we actually had a decent week this week, in which we're going to go ahead and jump right on into our list.
And our first show this week that we're going to talk about is Kaguya-sama, because it's terrible. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, but it was, of the 5 this week, definitely the weakest. Definitely. So, tell us, what was in Kaguya-sama this week?
I have figured out the name of the secretary.
Have you?
Solely due to the ending last week, which is like the most well-animated thing in the history of ever.
If you hadn't seen that, go back and look at that. That was actually really, really cool.
Yeah, so we have Kaguya, we have Miyuki, Shirogane, who's the president, and we have Chika.
Chika!
So that's one name down, and I will not forget that one.
Well, seeing as this show only requires us to remember 3 names right now, I think we got this.
And I think she's best girl of this show.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, she is best girl. At some point, I found that I stopped caring about the love thing going on just because I wanted to see what Chika would do.
Yeah, so there was like a bunch of skits this week.
5.
Like 5 of them?
5 skits this week.
I remember you counting them off, and you were like, wow, what's going on here?
Yes. Only some of them were like super short. Like one of them was like 1.5 minutes.
That might be true. Was that the one where the Yeti returns?
No, it was one at the very end.
I might have forgotten that one.
Yeah, okay.
Because I really remember the one that took like most of the space, which was the word game that they were playing at the beginning.
Forbidden Word or something like that? I had never heard of this game.
Well, I think it is a Japanese cultural thing that they like to play or something.
I don't know. It looks neat, whatever it is. It actually looks like, I'm like, huh. You got a bunch of people. That'd actually be an interesting game to play. So, how do you play Forbidden Word?
You don't, because Chika wins.
She is actually a secret mastermind.
So, she kind of reminded me of this episode, like, she's just fucking loopy as fuck, and you don't know what she's gonna do next. She just starts rapping out of fucking nowhere. It's like the second episode of Zombieland Saga.
Oh, best episode.
Where the the necromancer dude, what's his name?
The necromancer dude?
Tatsumi, the guy that brought them all back to life or whatever, the producer.
Okay, I know his name's Tatsumi, I just loved you called him the necromancer dude.
When he just starts beatboxing and scratching the thing. That's exactly what Chica did this episode.
She did. Oh my god.
And the forbidden word is something that she should have said while she was doing this.
Yes. Well, here's the fun part is that okay, so how did they get to the game? They needed to buy stuff for a student council dinner with French French visiting people.
Yes.
Which apparently, according to the show, the French are the second most interested in cosplay behind Japan, which I did not know this. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, this is factual information.
I don't know if it's factual or not. That's what I'm saying.
Look up at all.
No. But... So, they need to go shopping, and they decide, okay, we only need 2 people to do this shopping excursion, so whoever loses this game of Forbidden Word, or whoever wins is the one who doesn't have to go. So Shirogane gets a plan. He's a plan. Okay, I need to pick something that Chika will never say, so that, oh darn, both me and Kaguya lost, so I guess we'll have to go together. And so he picks a word he thinks she'll never say. Check it out. And she just starts rapping and beatboxing, like, right there. He goes,
I immediately expected her to fail and lose.
Yeah, because, like, she was Shirogane, he goes, shit! It's almost guaranteed she's gonna say, check it out!
He's like, oh god. And then, like, Kaguya immediately loses.
Oh, yes, it was the word love.
Yeah.
So, Shirogane, like, manipulates the situation so that Kaguya will feel guilt, and say the word love. He uses the word. He asked her he asked Chika, what does she hate?
Yeah.
And she goes into this. It takes us like 45-degree turn. All of a sudden, she's just like gets really sappy and sad and talks about how like, oh no, people don't think I'm so dense and ditzy. He's like. And she's like, you don't think that of me, do you, Kaguya? And Kaguya's like, no, I don't hate you. I love you. And then all of a sudden she comes out like, ha! You lose!
She went on an epic troll fest in this episode.
And she's like rapping about how badly she lost, yo. She's just poking fun at her.
You can't beat this character right now.
Nope. And so Shirogane then he's like, all of a sudden he gets like really serious about it. He's deducing, okay, I need to make sure that I do it. I have to lose, but I have to do it in such a way where it makes it look like I'm being really serious about it, okay? All right, I need to think about the way. And then he proclaims out loud, all right, Chika, and this, it's just down to you and me, so I'm going to take it seriously now. You lose, yo!
Yeah, so they both got demolished by Chika. Like, out of the blue.
And trolled.
Even though she was, like, bragging that she had a 3 IQ in that song and dance routine last episode.
So the word was serious. And she called them both, and I loved it. Then we got,
Well, the first sketch was Kaguya's wearing the bunny ears.
The cat ears.
Or, yeah, the cat ears.
And that was so fucking funny. Oh my god.
And Miyuki just, like, turned around and looked at her, and he's like, oh my god, she's so cute.
I mean, I never heard the word kawaii said so just passionately and so often. Jesus Christ, they said kawaii so many fucking times.
And this was yet another scheme put into place by Chika.
Yes.
Because she put the bunny ears on top of Kaguya's head.
Mm-hmm.
And then she decides, you know what? Kaguya can't be the only one having fun, so let's put bunny ears on you too,
Cat ears.
President.
Cat ears.
Bunny ears, whatever. Same thing.
Nico.
So they said Neko Mimi. I don't care. Bunny ears, cat ears, same thing.
And no, it didn't. Let's be honest, it didn't really look good on Shirogane. Even Chika says, "Oh, maybe this was a bad idea." Kaguya is all into it. She's just like, "Oh my god, kawaii!
Best thing ever!" And then this gets them banned.
Then Chika's like, because they're both trying to hold their faces straight, but they can't do it, so they keep making these weird, like, fucked up faces. So Chika just decides, no, you're both banned from wearing these. Fuck off.
You know what? I agree with her because Kaguya was just making the creepiest fucking face.
I think you sent me that. You sent me a screenshot of Kaguya's face, like looking at Shirogane. Didn't you?
Might have.
And it's like, yeah, it's these faces are just, oh boy. So let's see, what the skit was after that was
the one after that was where they had to go shopping.
No, you're texting.
Yeah, she was setting the whole thing up with him.
Yeah.
Romantically or whatever.
I love Kaguya's maid. Kaguya's maid's a fucking troll and I love it.
Everybody's getting trolled in this show.
Well, so she doesn't want to. Kaguya doesn't want to be the one to send the first text. She needs Shirogane to send the first text. So her maid goes, "Well, then just call him." He's like, "I couldn't do that. Oh my god,
possibly."
And then he's like, "Fine, I'll call him for you." She grabs her fucking. Here you go. Chucks it at her as the phone's ringing.
And then his dad picks up.
Yes,
and she's like, "Can I talk to Shirogane?" And he's like, "I am Shirogane."
Well, how austere his dad is. I am Shirogane. He's fucking Batman. I am Shirogane. They go, Miyuki. He's like, yeah. Hold on. Miyuki, there's a girl on the phone for you. Then you hear a woman in the background like, a girl's calling for Miyuki? And he's like, oh, hey, Shirogane, what's up? He's like, oh, I just called to talk about going to get the supplies tomorrow. So we can set up a time and a place to meet. He's like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, I'm in the bathtub right now, but yeah, I can talk. And she's like, you're in the bathtub? And her maid comes over. He goes, just imagine, he's naked, completely exposed. It's just
this maid is definitely helping.
I loved it so much.
I don't even know how this matters because you can't see them.
Yeah, but her mind, her mind raced 1,000,000 miles an hour after that.
That's very true.
So, Shirogane's completely oblivious to anything really weird going on. He's just like, just talking, hey, I'm just in the tub. Oh, he's like, it doesn't matter, it's fine, because my phone's waterproof, it's cool. And he's like, how about 11 o'clock at the station tomorrow? And she's like, yeah, okay, I gotta go by. He's like, hey, wait, but what up? And she hangs up on him. And she's like, oh, why did I hang up on him? He's gonna say something. Oh, I'm such a shit. Maybe I should text him. Like, no, I can't send the text. I can't be the first one to have to be the first text in this conversation. And then he texts her. He's like, you hung up on me before I could say anything, but sleep tight, have a good one, and see you tomorrow. And then it's like the outcome of today's match. Kaguya wins because she didn't send the first text.
Okay.
Awesome.
But then it turns out that they get rained out and they have to cancel their plans anyway. So even though Kaguya really wants to go, her maid bans her from going.
And this is like one of the 2 minute and a half skits.
Yeah, this one was really short.
Yeah, it was just like, Kaguya wants to go, it's rained out, but it took her 30 minutes to send the text, so he was already there and being drenched on. So awesome. Then comes the next sketch, and this one I really love.
This one was kind of hilarious because...
So they're at the shindig between the French students and themselves. And he asks, hey Kaguya, do you know French? And she's like, oh, I'm not really that great at it, I might know a little bit. And he says a basic phrase you would pick up in any how to speak French book. Which of course he shows he has in his back pocket. Mm-hmm. And she's, oh, how well done of you, President. And then French kid comes up and starts speaking French, and she just starts belting out fluent conversational French. And he's like, oh shit, she lied. No, he just goes, in like internal monologue, liar!
Yeah, so it turns out that he's the only one in the room that cannot speak French fluently.
So there's an evil mastermind behind the scenes.
I don't even know where this guy came from,
Yeah,
and
like,
I don't care.
He's like, we're trying to see whether he really is up to snuff to be able to, to lead the class, to be class president. You, evil French woman, go just like rip his guts out with your verbal abuse. And she's like, on it.
She's like, yes, I will go do this evil thing.
So she begins to like, I think the narrator says something to the effect of she's screaming expletives and cursing his lover and making fun of his mother, just in fluent French. And he's like, oui. Oh, oui.
Yeah, so
oui.
he doesn't understand a word she's saying, and he's like, yeah, that's cool.
And when she lays the final blow on him verbally, he goes, that's totally right. But in French, I guess. And the guy in the background is like, oh, how is he not just in a crumpled fetal position after that verbal onslaught?
It's just mind-blowing.
So she tries again, amps it up, and she's screaming at him in French. To which Kaguya-sama goes like, what did you just say? And
She's like, oh no, you didn't. You can't talk to my man that way.
Oh no, you didn't. And just proceeds to lay the verbal smackdown on her, but in Japanese. And just gets her to shrivel into a ball of like,
oh no, she did it. She did it in French because.
Oh, did she? That's right. Yeah,
because afterwards, after she causes this evil woman to cower in fear
and run.
She's like, you probably hate me, don't you, Shirogane? He's like,
well, no, that was the next sketch. After this sketch, it just ends with it ends with Shirogane winning because he didn't know French.
Weird way to win.
But then it's like it shows
if you could call it winning.
But then it's just after the shindig, and it's they're cleaning up, and that's when she's on the floor. It's like, you probably hate me so much now because they use such horrible verbal language. And he goes, I didn't understand any of it.
I don't know anything, so okay. My opinion of you did not get lowered.
I just, I can gather that she was, insulting me, and you insulted her for insulting me. So, win-win, good. And so she goes like, oh, sure, gonna see. That's what about you. He's like, wait, what? What did you say? Like, that's a secret. It's like, no, I want to know more. He's like, no. He's like, what? No, how about
can't know anything.
Can't you tell me it in Swedish? Tell me in Yiddish. He's like, no, nah. And it's like, Kaguya wins because Shirogane doesn't know French, or because she kept her secret or whatever. And again, it was another 1.5-minute sketch. But this is a fun episode. It just
So I like this episode a lot more than Week 2's episode.
Yeah, I will say it was much better than Week 2 episode. I still don't think Week 2 was bad, but we still have different opinion on that.
Just did not work for me at all.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, cat ears, and I'm starting to find out when they play these games. Last week it was 20 questions. This week it was the forbidden word. I'm having so much fun of Chika just trolling people with games.
She is a super troll.
Well, Chika wasn't involved in the last game, but still. I don't know what it is, but they play games, and they get so super serious, and the narrator's getting in there, and it, visually compares it to, dueling. It's just like, oh my god, these are fucking games they're playing. And it's taken so fucking seriously. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, Chika is definitely turning out to be the best character in the show. Yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait to see what she does next week.
It's starting to seem like every
no Chika episode next week. We're gonna be let down.
Yeah, that would be sad. But yeah, that was Kaguya-sama. War is Love. Good episode. Not the strongest this week of the 5, but
War is Love.
Love is War. Sorry, Love is War. Shut up, dyslexic moment. Love is war. Love is war. Love is war. It said 1 million times in the title. I don't know why I fucked that up.
Remember, everybody, war is love.
That's right. Shut the fuck up. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move right along. And this week on Murder Force, not a lot of murder, but Magical Girl Spec Op Asuka did have some gruesome scenes in it this week. Some pretty gory shit. Some actually hard to watch shit. Even though I know it was animated characters, it was still like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so I did skim through the manga and got to chapter 8, just like not reading anything. But you still get spoiled just by looking at the pictures there.
Yeah.
And I expected them to, since this and the next few chapters are a lot more action-packed, to put a lot more action to this episode. But
they didn't.
We kind of get stonewalled for like half the episode of just dialogue of them talking about Mr. X giving it to... What's her name?
What do you mean Mr. X giving... Who's Mr. X?
The guys that look like Mr. X.
Parlov and...
Yeah, the two Russian guys that just show up.
I'm going to say Sokolov, but I know that's right. Not right.
Sokolov.
That's from fucking Metal Gear Solid. But...
Sokolov and Ocelot.
And Abigail.
Yeah, Abigail, but that's not the name of the...
Nozomi.
What?
Nozomi.
Oh, Nozomi, yeah. Tan chick gets kidnapped by them and taken off to be tortured
graphically and in our face. They did not cut away from it. Like, I'm used to, like, in certain graphic scenes in anime, they will, you know, especially for anime that are on TV and shit, they will censor it or cut, you know, before the bad stuff happens, it cuts away to something else. They were pretty... They had no problem showing it to us. After Abigail spends about a third of the...
that I think maybe the anime is worse than the manga.
Well, it's because it's in action. You're actually seeing it happen. It's not just...
Because you just have the still panels in the manga, and this, you just watching it for like a couple seconds, you just like, oh, that's a lot. So if you are like squeamish of heart, this was not your episode. Like definitely a show you might want to skip.
Yeah, because like the first quarter of the episode is Abigail, sort of like, how would you put it, like psychologically torturing her with grilling meat,
which you didn't like the fatty piece of meat.
And she cut off this really fatty piece of meat as if it was, you know, going to be served to be eaten. I mean, come on, you throw that piece away. Don't even bother grilling it. Ugh.
Well, at least she had the grilling part right.
Yeah, she did get that part right. And she basically just giving Nozomi a hint of things to come. And it's... ooh, boy. So, Nozomi's dad knows that her, you know, his daughter's been kidnapped. They got word of it, but they're not going to do anything about it. They're in fact going to let Nozomi die.
Yeah,
so that when her body is delivered, they can use it as justification to go on a fucking rampage.
Yeah, this woman just comes down to her dad, is like, this is what's going to happen. We're going to let your daughter die.
Yeah.
So that we have justification and getting a whole lot of money. We're going to get piles of cash out of this.
So that we can...
when they deliver your dead daughter's body.
I don't remember them saying anything about cash.
Yeah, they said we're going to get a ton of funding from this.
Oh, I see. I must have missed that part. But he's a little pissed about it.
Understandably.
So, yeah. So the Magical Girl Squad, they're not going to do anything either. Because apparently their hands are tied, they can't. But because Asuka's like, well, fuck y'all, I'm not officially employed by you. I'm going to use my powers and go save her anyway. Fuck you. And to which Kurumi's like, me too. And if you try to stop me, I'll quit, bitches. So they let him. No, not like they had much of a choice. So as they go to go save her, we get cut. It cuts back. The episode's halfway over now. Nothing has happened yet. It's just been exposition and talking. And that might have been good because the second half of the episode, at least the first half of it, is let's watch Nozomi be tortured. First we got a dude who heats up tongs really fucking hot, and just holds it on her body. And we have to sit here and watch her squirm and scream, and he pulls it away, and it pulls flesh away with it, and it's just, God.
There's like melted flesh on it. And,
no.
This is not a fun time if you're Nozomi, because they tied her down to like...
In the weird, like, that was a weird-ass position.
It's not even like a wooden horse.
No,
it's
but
like
it's...
something.
I don't know, like, her arms are like up and back, and
her legs are tied together.
Yeah, like down and back, so that her front is like arched up, basically. And then the other dude who has this water spirit, this dead water spirit that he controls, begins to waterboard and drown the shit out of Nozomi. Like, the water spirit actually goes into her body. Like, first it wraps around her head like a bubble, and then it shows her like inside her body, like punching her guts. It's like, oh my fucking god!
Yeah, this was Nozomi's bad day.
And then
she got tossed into a Tomb Raider game all of a sudden.
Yeah. And Abigail's filming this.
Yeah, Abigail is filming it because she like doesn't care if they're gonna get funding or whatever to attack them. She's like, yeah, we're just gonna film this and send it off so that your dad can watch you get tortured to death.
So that they'll call in the magical girls, and the magical girls will come here.
And we have this grand plan of making the unstoppable magical girl from what?
The magical girl of mass destruction.
Yeah,
that was her words. Those were the translated subtitled words.
Those are her exact words. And
the magical girl of mass destruction. So then,
I don't even know what to say to that.
After that, they then put a hose down her throat, and then have the water spirit go up the hose, and then out the other end, which is in her throat, just choking the shit out of her. I mean, this goes on for way too long. Oh my god!
Yeah, if you're squeamish, this is definitely going to make you uncomfortable. So and this isn't even the end of it.
No. So the girls get there. What are their code names? Warners and Rapture.
Rapture, as they translate it.
Well,
although I kind of like the manga's translation of Rupture.
I like Rapture better.
Rupture sounds more brutal.
So they get in, they use magical truth serum on one of the bad guys to find out where she is. They go down to save her, and she's like hung up by the wrists, and they make their demands. Abigail says, put your weapons down, come with me.
Put your weapons down and surrender.
And if you come with me, I'll let her live. To which Rapture says, okay, counter argument, you let her go, and I'll let you live. And she goes, oh, persuasive argument.
She said this is a really elaborate suicide attempt, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Rapture was like, that's what Rapture said, I forgot. Oh yeah, because that's right, because she's like, Abigail just comes out with it. Oh no, we were just torturing her so y'all would come here. And that's when Rapture's like, so this was a very elaborate suicide attempt. So after Rapture says, you let her release her and we'll let you live, she goes, oh, how kind of you. Okay, I'll let her down. And then cuts her arm off.
Yeah, that's a really sharp pair of scissors she has.
And the shock on Nozomi's face as the pain hits her, 5 seconds later after she's staring at her own severed hand.
I mean, they don't even cut this shit out either.
Oh, no.
They just show her dangling there by one arm, and her other arm's just dangling off this.
Wow, and Asuka loses it a little bit. She then proceeds to try and wreck they're sitting there firing. I think it was just for cover, though.
I like the part where Warner's impaled Abigail with the needle by just firing it out. It pinned her to the wall.
They create a smoke screen, get 7/8 of Nozomi out of there, and
they get her entire body out of there.
No, the hand is left behind.
No, it's not.
I swear it was still on the chain. I'm pretty sure it was. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was though. Still, they get out there. And Abigail doesn't take this too well.
Yeah, they have an interesting translation. So, for those of you not in the know, there is no Japanese equivalent for the word fuck.
I don't know this. I'll take your word on it.
The translator just spams fuck you for like, I don't know, 5 or 10 lines.
Yeah. Saying, how dare you! Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! Just constantly. And they give chase. Warners is told, you, go! Get Nozomi out of here. I fight these bitches. And she proceeds to fight all 3 of them. Well, I mean, Abigail doesn't really do much. The 2 Russians begin to fight her with their powers. Kind of getting the upper hand a little bit. But she notices that they're using a Russian style of fighting to deduce that they're Russian.
Yeah, so this is actually a real style of fighting.
Because of the way he was breathing?
No.
But that's how she determined that it was. She said, oh, based on the way he's breathing, he's doing the blah 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 Russian
it's
CQC
Sistema.
style.
It's Sistema.
Sistema, okay.
Is what it's called, and it's a real martial art, if you want to call it that. I've seen videos on it, but it looks kind of like bullshit to me, like most martial arts do.
So Abigail directs them, you 2, take care of Rapture, I'm going after Warners. Asuka doesn't want to let her do that, but the Russians don't let her not let Abigail. And then, before the big battle commences, the episode ends. Yeah. So, a lot of build-up, a lot of torture, to not a lot of payoff.
So, I think that this would have been a better show to show last season. And I'm going to give my reasoning.
Okay, why
because a lot of people think that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I'm assuming, based on your verbiage there, you don't.
It's a Christmas movie.
Oh, then why did you just say
around Christmas?
Why didn't you say you thought that? Then you said some people think that. Okay, fine. Yeah, I agree with you. Yes, it did come out around Christmas. Yes,
this would be a great Christmas anime if it came out last season.
Okay. The only reason it's not top bill this week is twofold. Why we knocked it down to 4? At least in my opinion. We got a lot of build up to no payoff, and it was very hard to watch. Of the 24 minutes, watching 10 of those just being torturing Nozomi. God, that was hard to watch. I mean, any other what? How about you? Those are why I knocked it down to 4.
There's a couple reasons I don't think this should be a top episode. So I pointed out a lot.
Okay.
During the episode, when they just make a really derp face.
They do. Do you think that was bad drawing, or
it's totally bad drawing? The animators must have been drunk when they were drawing those frames.
You don't think it was intentional, like to show a certain expression?
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not.
It was just really just bad art on there, lazy art.
This is like shit they fucking fix in the Blu-rays, and
okay.
Since we never watch the Blu-rays, we're always watching the television release.
Right.
We always see this bullshit. Very true. Yeah, they rushed those frames out, and we're like, yep, that looks good. Nobody's gonna notice that totally fucked up face where the nose is over here and they're making googly eyes and what's really going on here? We just put a fucking picture of broken neck Sasuke here.
Broken neck Sasuke?
Yes.
I'm sure I'll understand when you send me that image, which is right here. And yeah. So is that the only complaint you have with the episode, or?
Well, I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, it is a fun.
Pieces are one of those things I really look out for.
I like the action in the show. The characters are fun. But man, it was so hard to watch this episode just because of that torture.
Yeah, it really is hard to watch. If you're more squeamish, I would say skip this show.
Yeah, I mean you've already warned me because you've cheated. That apparently it gets Because last week I mentioned is like, oh god, look at the preview for next week. Oh, that looks pretty gruesome. And you made the line of, you ain't seen nothing yet. So great, awesome.
Mean, it could get worse.
Oh goody, can't wait for that. I don't know what you've gotten me into in this one. This is the one you wanted to watch. Oh boy.
This just reminds me, though, of those 1980s movies. I mean, this one's hard to watch because you can't look at it and say, oh, this is like the story of Riccio, where
it's exaggerated and silly.
The gore just looks so bad that you can't take it seriously, and they're ripping their intestines out and trying to strangle each other with them. And you're
I love that movie. If you have not seen Story of Riccio, you are doing yourself a disservice. It's so fucking stupid, it's fun.
Yeah, go watch the Story of Riccio.
Yes.
What else do I want to say about this episode? I know there's something else I wanted to say. I do have to put a correction on there because I said there were only 14 chapters out. There are 40 chapters out.
Okay.
There's only 14 that are translated into English.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So there's a lot more material that they could cover.
A lot more. Let's hope they just sort of steer away a little bit from the torture bits, because that was, oh boy.
If you did not get that from the last episode when that
happening.
bear was throwing around the woman's head.
Yeah. I mean, last season people got a little triggered with Goblin Slayer. I don't know. I think this one is worse.
You know, I don't see anything about it because most people are, complaining about another show.
Yes, they are. Even though it happened only once. But, anyway, we'll get to that. But that was Magical Girl Spec Ops Asuka for this week. Hard to watch, had some technical errors, but it's still overall a fun show. Like when the action's on point, it's fun. The characters are great.
The one-liners are great.
Yes, they are. So this was a very elaborate suicide attempt. That was great.
This is taking me back to the 80s, man.
I know. It's fucking Commando in miniskirts. I love it.
It's like all those fucking Arnold movies.
Yes.
Hey, chill out. What killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age. Don't wake my friend. He's dead tired.
Stop it. You're going to kill me.
So before he dies, let's go ahead and move right along to our number 3 this week.
Do-ro-ro, ro-ro-ro, ro-ro-ro, do-ro-ro-ro.
Yes, that is the bastardized version of the name of the anime that ranked number 3 this week.
Yeah, Do-ro-ro this week is about killing a sword.
Yes. I'll be honest. The moment the episode started, and the moment that chick said, oh, it looks like he's listening to the rain, and he's like, he can't hear anything. They're talking a lot about hearing. I was like, gee, I wonder what body part Do-ro-ro will get back today.
I also made a terrible dad joke.
Yes, you did. What was that again?
We'll get to that later.
Okay. So, we get ourselves... Well, it's your entry. Tell us what we got today.
We have a lot of rain. It's raining. They introduce a woman.
I think it rained the whole episode. I don't think it...
It did rain the whole episode, and... This woman's coming out and she's like, hey, Hyakkimaru, blah, 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 blah. And Do-ro-ro goes, he can't hear you.
I look at it, he says,
he's deaf.
The way Do-ro-ro said it, he's deaf up here.
He's deaf up here. Like, where else are you going to be deaf but in your ears?
I love that shit.
Oh, you know what? He's just deaf in his eyeballs. You gotta...
There was that time where I was deaf in my nose. Oh, that was a bad time. Bad time.
Really bad time. Just could not hear through my nose.
So they're at a shrine, and she's there to pray for the return of her brother, who's been gone for 5 years.
Return of her brother, feudal Jay Leno.
Yes. We'll explain why. We'll get there. I just love how blunt Do-ro-ro is. She's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, I'm here to pray for the return of my brother. How long has he been gone? 5 years. You know he's probably dead. It's just...
Yep.
Do-ro-ro is great. I love how blunt Do-ro-ro is.
And then Do-ro-ro was talking about Hyakkimaru, and he or she is like, Yeah, I don't even care if he dies. Just, you might catch a cold and stand out in this rain, but I don't care if he dies.
Well, no, that was what Dororo said. Dororo goes, like, he's gonna catch a cold for all I care. Because Dororo's frustrated that Yakimaru's been out there just standing in the rain, what do you say, for 30 minutes? It's like, he's been like that for the past 30 minutes.
He's been out there for a while.
Because he's feeling rain on his body for the first time ever in his life.
That's very true.
He's a little
like, what are these sensations?
Fascinated by it. So, it then shows Yakimaru sees something in the distance.
Something evil, because it's red.
Well, he sees something neutral and something evil.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what does he do?
He goes into murder mode. Both him and Dororo go out towards this disturbance in the force.
Yes.
And they find a bunch of, mauled and
dead people.
They're blood's all over the place, and
that's a crazy amount of blood. But then again, it is Amine. For some reason, Amine has a shit ton of blood in it.
And then, like, feudal Jay Leto shows up.
He is feudal Jay Leno. He absolutely is. Chin and all. Gray hair, chin. Only way thinner, because Jay Leno looks like a bit of a huskier individual.
This guy could injure somebody with his chin.
He just swings his head like, you call his name. Hey, dude! Yes! Boom!
It's like the most prominent part of his face, too.
Yeah? Well, that and his regrown hair, because we see him at the beginning of the episode in a flashback, and there's no hair here. But then when we see him again, flowing locks. So now I know what I need to do. I need to go find myself a cursed-ass sword.
Yeah, so feudal Jay Leto is running around with a cursed sword that wants to kill people.
It thirsts for blood.
It thirsts for... Like, he shows up and he says, "My sword thirsts for blood, so I killed these people."
And Dororo's like, of course, you're not going to take responsibility for your actions. It was the sword that did. It was the
sword, yeah. You just got to blame the sword.
To which Yakimaru and feudal Jay Leno have themselves a sword fight.
Yeah.
Really cool. Jesus, this is a cool ass sword fight.
They get into a brawl, actually.
And in hindsight now, you can tell he was aiming for the sword and the sword only. You can tell he was actually slashing only at the sword. He was missing the dude on purpose. Because...
Yeah, I kind of would get confused about how he would kill the sword.
He did it, but we'll get there.
He does manage to do it.
That's because Yakimaru can kill anything. Anything.
But yeah, he does, he bests Jay Leto because Jay Leto stabs his leg at
well,
Yakimaru.
That's when you look at it in hindsight, you realize what's going on. Because Yakimaru's backed on a cliff. And the guy's like, haha, checkmate. And he goes to stab him. And Yakimaru jumps up so that it will go through his prosthetic leg and gets stuck. And then he just blaps him and knocks him over the cliff. And unfortunately, the sword and his leg go over with it. To which Dororo goes to retrieve it.
He's going to retrieve Yakimaru's leg. And he's like, oh, there's a sword in his leg. So...
even though the guy, feudal Jay Leno said, from the moment I held it in my hands, it's controlled my every movement. Dororo goes, of course, let me just go grab this thing.
Dororo's like, yeah, I'm just going to take this sword. Oh, shit. I need to go kill somebody. A feeling to kill somebody is growing. I gotta go get rid of this urge. And then, like, Dororo's walking around with this sword, and everybody's like, the fucking murderer's here.
Well, I love it because, like, you can see how Dororo's trying to fight it. It's like, no, I don't want to go that way. He's like trying to fight the sword, and the sword's trying to... He's like, oh, look, that two dudes show up. And he goes, you can see the sword go, people! Nom, 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 nom.
Let's go murder them. and then, like, it cuts away, and the woman from the beginning just stumbles upon her brother, incapacitated.
Feudal Jay Leto turns out to be her brother.
Feudal Jay Leto is her brother, so she takes him back to their place. Well, I thought it was their place, actually,
I think it was
it's not. She takes her back to, like, a room in the inn or something.
Yeah. Because she says that she lost everything. Like, she lost her property, her house, all that jazz.
Yeah, and then we finally get Jay Leno's backstory. That he was the
God,
servant...
Jesus Christ, this backstory.
That he was the servant of a feudal lord.
Who was an asshole.
Of course, since he's a feudal lord, he's an asshole.
Check this, okay? But, shit, I lost the game. I lost Forbidden Word. Fuck. Check this out. He had builders and engineers build him a castle. And as thank you for building his castle, he murders them.
Yeah, he executes them all. He's like, yeah, this lead engineer built me this really swanky castle, and if I let him live, he might betray me.
And
so
then
let's kill him.
Yeah, so then enemies will know all the weak points and the secret entrances to my super castle. So take it off with his head. To which feudal Jay Leno can't do it. He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Please reconsider. And to which feudal lord asshole goes, all right, if you're gonna disobey my orders, you have to kill yourself with this sword. And he hands him this rusty ass shitty sword. To which the moment he takes it in his hand, he just turns around and begins killing people. Because why not? And as he kills people, it gets less rusty and more sharp.
I mean, I'd like to say, that people wouldn't do things that these shitty feudal lords want them to do. But of course, we have historical documentation and lots of psychological experiments that say, yeah, people will do this shit.
And then after he's finished killing all of the engineers and builders, he then proceeds to kill the feudal lord and all his men.
Can't say he didn't deserve that.
No, but I'm still surprised he was able to do it single-handedly, but he pulled it off. And like a drug addict, he's sitting on the balcony now of the inn, just calling to the sword. Like, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm over here.
I gotta murder people now.
He's just calling. He's like, he's like, his sister's like, what's that? What you're saying? But he's just looking out the window going, I'm over here. I'm right here. To which it goes back to Dororo with the sword pulling him along. And then Hyakimaru shows up, and it's just like, I'm gonna murder the boy. Time to murder the boy.
Yeah, so this one was shot differently. It actually looked like Hyakimaru was trying to kill Dororo.
Yeah, because he was like sweeping for his legs and
just like going for body shots and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, dude. Like, unlike with the
Dororo's like, it's me, bro.
Unlike the fight with feudal Jay Leno, it looked like he was literally going for body blows. It's like with both sword hands. It's like, Jesus.
He actually succeeds in disarming Dororo.
Not in that way. Not in that way. Just knocks the sword out of his hand.
He doesn't take any arms off.
I was kind of expecting someone was going to get their arms ripped off.
And then Jay Leno runs out and is like, ha ha ha! I found the sword again! It's mine!
Like a fucking
now I can murder
addict.
more people!
And then...
And Hyakimaru's like, it's on now.
Yep, and almost as if... I think they were trying to frame it as if somehow Hyakimaru, being deaf, still heard the sister. Because during the final blow, as he goes in for the final blow, she's like framed behind him and goes, please don't kill my brother.
She said, please don't kill my brother, but he can't hear.
Right, but I think they were trying to frame it as if somehow he did. Because then it shows that even though he falls over and there's blood, it shows that he cut the sword in half.
Well, he killed Jay Leno and then...
But it didn't really show...
The sword... I didn't
I'm confused because I couldn't figure out if he actually just killed the sword or if he killed the dude. Because...
I think he did both.
Before the guy fell down, I don't remember seeing a wound anywhere. Before he fell down and died. Dude fell over and then it went over and showed blade cut in half. And then, of course, he starts having his, body reconstruction spasms, and oh my god, a whole episode about hearing what body part did he get back? Oh yeah, his ears. And it shows him hearing for the first time, and he's like, oh fuck! Noises! Because he's like, the rain is like, also shows it from his perspective, and like the sound of the rain was like fucking loud. I almost reached for the remote. That's how fucking loud it got. And it just sort of ends there. Doesn't really like concretely... Well, no, it shows his father for a brief second, like looking at yet another broken statue. And
his father.
And like he's like apparently he's now looking for the boy. Or he's trying to figure out what's going on because his servant comes up to the door. You hear him like, "Hey, feudal lord guy, we can't find the nursemaid, nor any evidence of the child. That's my report." And he's like, "Okay, go away. Can't you tell I'm in the hell room?"
You guys need to go away. I'm busy contemplating being an asshole here.
So he doesn't look happy. And what I found funny because the episode it fades to the end credits with just a close-up on his face. And I just can't stop and look at the X. Just the mark. It's like, I'm just like, it's drawing me in. It's drawing me in. But, yeah, he can now hear. He has real ears. And, I've always wondered, right, so that was the episode. He was trained to, he's lived his whole life and learned how to fight minus his senses. I always kind of wonder as we're going along, because he got slashed at one point across the cheek and he was almost sort of like fascinated by it. I'm wondering if as we go along and he becomes more and more human, if he's going to like become worse of a fighter because now he has to contend with, senses he never had before. Pain, hearing. And when he has arms, proper arms back, and he doesn't have his arm blades anymore, how's he going to really fight? I mean, then again, no. Before he got his arm blades, he was killing things with a fucking wooden sword. So
yeah, wooden sword mastery. He's unstoppable.
But still, I'm wondering if that's going to. I'm kind of hoping that plays a part, because I would imagine, like, when he gets his eyes back, is he still going to have his demon sight, the sight where he can see demons? It's like, how's that going to play? I mean, I'm kind of hoping that it does show that he begins to struggle having senses. That's going to be very interesting. That hasn't happened yet. Like I said, he got his pain receptors back, and the most that happened is he got a slash on his face, and he almost turned like that evil dude from Escaflowne, going, "Ooh, cut, oh, cut." And it was just sort of like, okay. But I didn't really go into it much. So now that he has hearing, I'm wondering how that's going to play out in the next episode. The only reason in my opinion, the reason I think it's down to number 3 for us is, like last episode, predictability. Well, episode 2, but still, it's predictable as hell. It's like, like I said, the first words out of that chick's mouth, the sister's mouth, I was like, oh yeah, Shakimaru's going to get his ears back today. Got it. And it happened.
Well, I'm hoping they stretch us out more because this is supposed to be 24 episodes long.
See, that I didn't know.
There's only 12 demons.
12 demons, 12 body parts. And every episode he's gotten...
Every episode so far, he has gotten another body part or sense back.
Yeah. I think that what's sort of not doing it for me right now is that I kind of would have hoped, and contrary to what I said about predictability, I kind of would have hoped that the demons, each demon that represents a body part would have had something a little more relevant to that body part.
Well, I almost thought this episode was like going to be a filler episode or something because it was about a sword.
Yeah. And it turned out, nope, sword was a demon. It
turns out that the sword was a demon.
Nihiro or something like that? Nero?
Whatever his name was.
It was an
Nihiro or something.
Nihiro or something like that. But, yeah, like I said, if this really is a 24-episode arc, I'm kind of hoping they do... Usually you don't find yourself begging for filler episodes. You're right. I do hope that they fill this out a little more.
Yeah, they need to put some more filling into it because...
Yeah.
If we're just going to go, like, 12 episodes straight of getting his senses back, and then whatever happens beyond there...
Well, he's got to get his revenge on his dad.
Yeah, he's got to get his revenge on his dad for being an asshole.
Well, that and the opening credits do show him having duels and fights with his brother. So, I mean, Tora, or whatever his name was.
That actually happens, okay?
Well, that's... The opening credits showing that, so obviously there's going to be some big thing between them. So I'm hoping for that. If anything else, I almost feel that this is a little rushed. It sort of feels like, okay, we need to get his body parts back. Let's go. I hope they get let's sort of I hope they get some of his body parts back, just enough to, like I said before, to fuck him up, where he has to relearn how to live his existence now that this certain sense is fucking him up. I'm kind of hoping for that.
Maybe.
But that's where Dororo sits for us this week. Any other additional thoughts to it?
I don't have any additional thoughts.
No? Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and move right along to our next anime. And coming at number 2 this week is... I almost read it as I wrote it. Rising of the Shield Hero. Or as I wrote in our notes, Douchebag Hero. Because he still is. Let's call it as it is. He is still kind of a douche. I still say not unjustified, but he almost takes it out in the wrong, sort of wrong directions a lot of the time.
It's not unjustified, but
because we both came out of this episode going, this town, this kingdom of Malmac, whatever I call it.
Melromark.
Melromark. That's Alf.
Melmac. Mac and cheese.
You ever watched Alf, the old 80s show?
Yeah, but I can't remember very much.
He was from Melmac.
Yeah.
What was the name of the kingdom?
Melromark.
Melromark. Both of us came out of watching this episode going, can we burn down Melromark?
Yeah,
This place is awful. Because you were... I'm going to admit it. I was wrong. He was right. Turns out the reason the Chancellor with that shit-eating grin, that was proof that yes, the Princess Mine and the King were all in this from the beginning. They made a plan to frame the Shield Hero for an awful thing that he didn't do, specifically to turn everyone against him. Why yet? We don't know.
No, I caught myself asking this question. Why is this princess such a shitty person? And then I'm like, oh wait, because she grew up in this country, and all these people are shit. Yeah,
this is a shitty
total
place.
Garbage people.
And I honestly want to isekai myself to this place specifically to burn it down.
With a minigun.
Yes. Because it's awful. It's awful. I want the next wave to win. I seriously want the next wave to win.
At least in this country.
Yeah. Fuck.
So there aren't a lot of scenes in this episode, but they're really long.
Yes.
But it starts out with them having a celebration.
Yep.
And for some reason, the Spear Hero's like, I gotta challenge you to a duel.
Well, let's hold on. Let's take it frame by frame because this is
we better
this is
frame
important.
It how we.
Raftalia, it's an R, yeah. Raftalia wants Naofumi to, hey, come on,
enjoy himself,
enjoy yourself, let's have some food. Like, I don't wanna. Itachi killed my family.
Itachi killed my family. I'm a douchebag. I'm do.
So she goes. He's like, you can go eat though. Allow yourself to eat whatever you want. She goes, okay, fine. She comes back with cake.
Comes back with a piece of cake,
and it shows mine, and she like points it out to Spear Hero and like whispers something in his ear.
And the Shield Hero's like, he takes a bite of the cake.
She feeds him the cake. She's like, come on, say ah. And he's like, ah, and just feeds him reluctantly. He goes, he's like, isn't that good? He's like, yeah, I guess. It would have been better if Itachi hadn't killed my family, but it still tasted good, I guess.
And then I guess from the deep-seated terror and PTSD from the Spear Hero had that he got cake from his birthday party way back when.
And he was triggered by this cake.
It was like, holy fuck, I gotta take this Shield Hero out.
So he comes over and is like, I challenge you, Shield Hero, to duel right now. Because I have just been informed by an anonymous tip that wasn't mine. That is a slave. You have a slave. Oh, could you steep no lower, you scumbag?
And I'm like, dude, it's fucking legal in this country. What kind of fucking point are you trying to make?
He says this. Then now Fumi goes, and it's legal in this country. Why can we predict the lines of everything we fucking watch? Have we watched too much?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's totally legal, which okay, slavery is morally wrong, but now Fumi's completely right. It's legal in this country. He can own a slave.
Yeah, so which is like, but we're heroes. We're supposed to be setting a better example. Blah, 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 blah. I'm altruistic. Blah, blah, blah.
And now Fumi's like, yeah, that's just like your opinion, man.
He does say that, doesn't he? He dudes. He fucking dudes. So then the king, and this is, I want to retract. First episode happened, I said Spear Hero was in on this. It's now clear he wasn't.
Yeah, the Spear Hero's kind of just getting
He's getting
operated here.
He is getting played. Absolutely. Because, and I have a theory.
He's too trusting like the Shield Hero was.
I have a theory. And the reason is, remember in second episode, when Raftalia was having the flashback to her parents, and they talked about, oh, the Shield Hero. The Shield Hero was the hero and friend to all demi-humans. He was a great guy. I think they are trashing Naofumi because he is the Shield Hero, and this place is racist as fuck against demi-humans.
Yeah, this place is definitely racist.
They are the KKK of fucking medieval times. So they proceed to have, like, Naofumi says, fuck you. I have nothing to prove to you. I'm not dueling you. You know, and it's like, come on, Reptile, we're out of here. And the king then proceeds to go,
and I'm a douchebag.
I order you to accept his challenge. You have no say in it. Guards, force him into the challenge. And then proceeds to capture Raftalia. And if Shield Hero loses, he loses Raftalia. If he wins, well, actually, they didn't really they had come to terms with what would happen if he won. They just sort of assumed that Spear Hero's going to win.
He's not gonna. There's no way that the Shield Hero is ever gonna win because the whole contest was rigged.
Right. At first, it looks like the Shield Hero's got this. I mean, I love this fight. It actually proves that yes, shields are fucking awesome.
Yeah. So the utility is pretty badass ability that he has because. He's really holding his own, even though the Spear Hero is twice his level. Yeah, he's like 46, and Naofumi's like 21. Yeah.
It's like, and he's wrecking him! He's fucking wrecking Spear Hero! He's just so fucking badass! Like, I love it, like, Spear Hero's like, hey, you ever hear the story of the immovable shield and the irresistible spear? I'm so awesome. And
I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say with the irresistible spear.
Well, the irresistible force, an immovable object versus an irresistible force. Yeah, that's what he's...
Unstoppable force.
No, it's irresistible.
Okay.
Anyway, I may be wrong. Who the fuck cares? But so he gets his first strike off, and now Fumi goes, haha, guess what? I've already won. The moment you couldn't penetrate my shield, this fight's already decided, and it basically is. He proceeds to wreck him with all his utility shields. And some well-placed balloons.
You know what? We totally forgot that this duel was sanctioned by the kingdom and the Pope. There's such a concept as a Pope in this world.
So, it looks like Shield Hero's got this. He has got it. Until Mine uses wind magic to fuck him up. And Spear Hero then proceeds to wreck him.
Yeah, Spear Hero wins at this point
with a one-hit KO
because Mine interfered in a one-on-one duel, and then everybody's like, "Man,
we didn't see nothing.
We didn't see nothing. This was totally legit.
Spear Hero's the best. Yay for Spear Hero! Woo!
This fucking Shield Hero guy, he's a douchebag. I don't know what the fuck he's doing here.
Oh, we're gonna go free Raftalia, and they free her of her
whatever
slave
the slave
curse.
Mark, slave curse. That's what it is.
Yeah, now it removes her from his party. She reverts back to child shape, and now Fumi loses it, and rightfully so, because he's like, "You all saw that," and they're all like, "Nope, didn't see it.
Nope, didn't see a thing. Nope."
And they're all like, and the king's like, oh, sore loser Shield Hero.
You're just a sore loser. We had to cheat, but it was totally above board.
Well, they didn't admit to cheating.
Why would they?
And and this is an interesting part. I really love this. when Nafumi's losing, he's like trying to rip the shield off and throw it away. It just keeps coming back. And he just starts to have this mental breakdown to which it shows from his point of view. And it said, what does it say? Curse mode initiated or activated?
Yeah, I didn't quite catch it because it went by really fast.
It was like, no, it was curse mode requirements met.
Yeah, it was the requirements met, but
and he starts to
talking about.
You start to see like these weird dark veins come out from like behind his hairline and under his neck, and his pupils and irises sort of disappeared there for a minute. And Raftalia, Spear Hero comes up to her and goes, "I freed you. How awesome am I?" And she's like, "You motherfucker!" And he's like, "What? What? I love it. He's like, I did nothing wrong. I'm the good guy here."
He just does that thing you do. You're like,
well, no, that's outrage. He wasn't outraged. He was confused. He was legit confused. He was upset.
I don't care. He did it.
He was upset and confused. He was like,
so upset.
I was the good guy here. Why aren't you thanking me? He's like, you don't fucking know him. He's like, what was it like?
You don't know him like I do.
He's like, yeah, I was a slave, but you know what he did? He extended his hand to someone who was fucking dying, and he freed me from being in a prison, healed me to health, and he gave me a purpose in life. He made my life the happiest it's ever been, ever. Fuck you. And even though Shield Hero, he's lost it. He can't say he doesn't want to be here anymore. He can't stand being continuously framed for things he didn't do. He can't take it. He's lost it. He keeps telling Raftalia, like, I think the curse mode requirement spend is putting thoughts in his head, because he now sees Raftalia as a traitor, and he's
just fucking mentally, he's on full tilt to everything.
Yeah, he's as one would be,
and
emotional.
Raftalia's going over there. She's like, I know you're a great guy deep down there. You need to come back to us.
I loved her speech. It was one of the most impassioned things I've heard in an anime. It was so great when she's like, "Fuck you!" And he's like, I love when she went to the Spear Hero. I was like, "Would you have saved someone fucking slave that was in there dying?" I would have. When did you? Did you? No, you didn't. Fuck off.
They have this long. This is like the longest scene in the entire episode where she's talking to him. Is like, you got to come back now, Fumi. You can't go and do this emo shit.
I love she basically does to him what he did to her when she was having the night terrors. She just gets down there despite his rages, despite like just gesticulating, "Get the fuck away from me." Just takes him, holds him, and just talks about how, "I don't care how many people I know what the rumors are. I heard what they said about you. I don't believe you would ever have done that." And just talks to him and holds him. And it was so fucking good. Damn, I loved it. And then, I mean, just as, further awesome, Sword Hero and Bow Hero come down and go, "You fucking cheated."
Yeah, so Sasuke and the Bow Hero come down, and they're like, "Man, this was not above board. You guys fucking cheated, and you know it."
I think they are coming around to the idea that, yeah, maybe Shield Hero, maybe he didn't do what you said he did.
They're like, "Man, Spear Hero, you fucking lost that."
And I still love it because I think, like, this is, back to your point, you were right again, Spear Hero is being played. Because he's like, again, multiple times he's going, "But I did the right thing! I'm not wrong here! Why is everyone treating me like I'm bad?"
Yeah, so Mine's doing the whole manipulation of him here because he's weak-spirited or whatever, but it's just a grand conspiracy with the king and the chancellor and the princess and the fucking nobles are like, "Oh, we can't challenge the king."
Yep. So it's, oh my god, I loved this. I mean, I want to see where this goes from here. This is just, I mean, why I love this episode so much. I was literally at some point feeling exactly what Naofumi was feeling. I was feeling that frustration. I wanted to punch the screen. I want to go to that world to burn it down. I mean,
I wouldn't suggest punching your screen.
I wouldn't either. I'm just saying, they did such a good job in their writing. I felt the emotion coming off the screen.
Yeah, it was a really good episode.
It was so fucking good.
Probably the best episode so far.
Absolutely. Oh, I mean, I think the only episode I loved just as much as was the second episode where he met Raftalia. And he was slowly, like, doing those dad things for her. I was like, "Aw,
this is so
so sweet. I love it. I'm getting cavities watching this shit." But wow, I mean, even the sword hero, when Spear Hero was like, "But he's a scumbag. He's a fucking rapist and a scumbag," and they both, I think it was sword. It was either I think it was Bow Hero actually. Goes, "You can look at them right now, the way those two are, and really tell me that you think that he still did what they're claiming he did." And it just goes and shows he's passed out from the frustration and the rage, and she's just holding him. And it's just so beautiful.
Sasuke and the Bow Hero have the advantage that they're not, they don't have
a party member that's
a party
playing them.
member like the princess, and they don't really, care about the king or whatever.
No. So
and they're not being actively fucked over.
Yeah.
I think that the Spear Hero would get fucked over.
I
think they're probably going to go in the direction of,
I don't think he's going to come around till the very end. I think he's going to think, "Oh, I'm just and I'm right because the king says I am. No. It's all conspiracy against me." He's going to take it as a personal thing against him.
We'll
in the
see.
End.
I don't know. I'm not gonna try to cheat and read ahead in the light novel because
I'm just saying, based on how I've seen other stories go with similar sort of conspiracy plot lines, the king and the princess are going to turn it around in his mind, in Spear Hero's mind. "Oh, they're all against you now. They're all playing you. We're the only ones who are your friends. We can see through their lies." They want their champion, and they want Spear Hero to be an unbending, unyielding, spear for them specifically.
You just fucked up at the beginning if you did not look at the Chancellor like, "Well, that guy's not gonna fuck anybody over. He's totally trustworthy."
You're right. I was wrong. You're right. I bow to that. But I am loving the show. I really, truly am. I know it triggered some people. We can't pretend the elephant in the room isn't there because of what happened in that first episode. But, of the falsely accused of rape thing. That triggered a lot of people. That whole storyline shouldn't even be there because it puts it in people's minds that, blah, 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 blah. But...
Well, she probably wouldn't have gotten away with that if it wasn't for the king being in on it. And,
right. The king set it all up. This whole thing was a setup from the beginning. And, watching Naofumi be beat down every fucking day, hated by everyone around him, and... this is written so well, you can feel every ounce of his frustration. It is so well written in that regard. And I've just come around to being worried for it in the beginning to loving the show.
Well, I hope they don't continue with this, ad infinitum because it kind of gets stale.
Yes. I think they're getting it out of the way quickly. And it's just the kingdom of
Melmac.
It's just going to be... They're going to turn out to be a bad guy, and somehow they're evil. But I'm still worried about the romantic subplot. I hope it doesn't happen, even though I know it's probably gonna. But, God, I love this episode.
I'm pretty sure they're going to get their comeuppance eventually, but I'll be severely disappointed if they get less of a punishment than what Nozomi got in Magical Girl Spec Ops.
Can we, superimpose the king and mine in that situation, take Nozomi out and just put them in there? God damn.
Because these two are just really awful.
And the Chancellor. Don't forget the Chancellor.
I can't forget the Chancellor.
Yeah. And mainly because even though it wasn't his fault, he's just doing what he's ordered by his king. I'm sure it wasn't his plan, but he went along with it. He was complicit.
He just went along with it.
He's complicit. Get him. So that was Rising of the Shield Hero. Wow. It's obviously it's foreshadowing. That scene in the opening intro where he goes demonic and berserk. Because that curse mode requirements met. From the opening, he goes berserk, and then she holds his arm and shows him come out of it.
I don't actually pay attention to the opening to this show.
In the opening, it shows him with red eyes, those veins that come out from behind his hairline and up his neck.
Okay, I'll have to go watch the opening again.
And then it shows Raftalia grab his arm, and it hold his arm like a child would.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, and then it shows him snap out of it. It's obviously foreshadowing a moment where he's going to lose it. because he now has a requirement that was met. Whether he's going to have control over that or if it's something that's going to start happening to him now, we'll see what happens.
He has the cursed shield, and now he has to run around and murder people
because
to quench its thirst for blood.
Well, no, it's like it showed like the gem, the green gem inside, like turned dark, and it started spewing out this dark mist, and it was like almost like he was going like evil mode. So we'll see where that goes. It was just a heartfelt episode. It was just finally the frustration came to a head. The king pushed his agenda too hard, and now you can see, people are starting to see through it, and even the other heroes. So hopefully now Fumi's going to get some recompense, some justice here. You asked why wasn't the king going nuts at this point? When people were calling him out as in his shit, and I think because I don't think the Pope isn't on it, because he couldn't lose his shit in front of the Pope. He had these people accusing. Silly. Moving along.
If the Pope's not in on it, then how did he just get away with fucking rigging this match? And
it showed that mine was underneath his balcony.
Oh, maybe he just didn't see it.
Right. So, and that's even the bow hero called it out. Or no, it's the sword hero called it out. He said, yeah, she used wind magic specifically. At first I wasn't sure if that was magic or not because it's wind. But yeah, I totally saw her do it.
Well, it kind of helps that she was actually in the dueling area where she should not have been.
Yes. So, like I said, can I speak for you on this and say we're both loving this a lot more than we thought we were gonna?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so that's happening. But still, that was still only our number 2. That means there was another anime we loved more. Let us move right along and find out what that is.
And in the Promised Neverland, we finally figure out who the traitor was. And it was Featherhoof all along.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I was so good at being a traitor, even I didn't know it was me. Fuck. I didn't know I could Revolver Ocelot this shit. Awesome. So, what happened this episode? Tell us. What is the reason of this episode? What happens here?
The reason of this episode is Sister Crone. And we're now on the Sister Crone show.
No. That's the reason of the season. Sister Crone is the reason of the fucking season. Because we have another Sister Crone meltdown this episode, which is like, yay, I want to see more of these, please. At first I didn't think we were getting one, because Isabel calls her out. Isabel's like, yeah, I've been seeing what you're doing. You can't fucking fool me. I know what you're doing.
She's like, no, you're not getting this past me.
I know you're trying to frame me.
I know you're trying to do this, but it's not gonna work. You just need to be my bitch.
Then be my bitch and look, I promise I'll make you a mother. Don't worry about it. And it looks like Sister Crone's been beaten down, so, oh shit, bro. And she sits in her room like, oh man. And then we get the Sister Crone freak out after this like really long pause. And it was so good. I love it.
Her poor baby dolls.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, she just murdered it. In cold blood.
Yes. In cold stuffing. Ugh.
Oh, it was just so graphic. You're stuffing all over the place. And, oh my god, you can't watch this.
No. But the reason the episode is there's a traitor. And Emma, Norman, and Ray need to figure out who the fuck it is.
They need to figure out who this goddamn traitor is so that they don't get found out.
So what's their plan?
Tag.
Team tag.
Team tag.
But, why?
I don't know.
Well, I think it was, what was it? Something to the effect of, some people suck on their own.
Yes. As Ray so eloquently puts it, yeah, some people just suck on their own and they're gonna get fucking murdered when we run away.
It's like that line from Mr. Popo in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. They gonna die!
They gonna die! There's no hope for them!
No. So, but it's actually like an elaborate ruse so they can like get, so they can like check out, what was it, Gilda and Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn.
To see if they would be good leaders or something to that effect, or...
No, they wanted to find out who the traitor was, so
they have a couple of candidates. They
have a couple candidates.
Dawn, Gilda, because those two are the oldest besides themselves. And then they're like, okay, so who has the highest score besides us?
There's some little kid that they were talking about. They're like, yeah, we gotta suspect everybody, Emma. She's
So-
like, I don't want to believe it.
I cannot believe it. For fans of Dynamite Heady. But, old Genesis game. But, so, I think, was it Norman that just outright says, yeah, we should tell him.
Yeah, we should just tell Gilda and John.
Dawn.
And same thing. So they just go out and flat out tell them, and Dawn is like, there's no way, man, no way.
What's the joke? What's the punchline to this joke?
What's the punchline to this joke? Are you gonna kick me in the balls and just say, haha, pranked you?
And when everyone just sort of looks at him, he's like, wait, you fuck with me?
Wait,
it's true?
This is true?
Which Ray just pulling us, yeah, it's true. So...
And then Gilda's like, oh my god, I knew there was something wrong.
What is she like? She's like, when you and Norman came back and didn't apologize for breaking the rules?
For not apologizing, she like figured it out. Some great scheme in her mind. She's like, they didn't apologize, so I've connected the dots over there.
No. Observational evidence. She said, in the past, when you break rules, you usually apologize for it right away, and everything goes back to the way it was. This time you guys came back, you've been super serious ever since, and you never apologized. She knew
something was up.
She knew something was up. I applaud her for her observation. She's very smart. So, after Gilda and Dawn say that they're in on it, Ray's a little upset because Norman didn't tell them the truth.
Norman didn't tell him that Connie got...
She did!
She did! He's like, man, you gotta level with these people. You gotta tell them that they're fucking dead.
And to which Norman's all like,
I don't have to do that.
It's like, and what it's like, why break them down now? He's like, well, what's going to happen when you have to tell them the truth? I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
He's like, I'm gonna figure out who the traitor is first. I'm gonna tell Dawn that the rope's in this location.
I think he told Dawn was the rope underneath Norman's bed. Actually, no, he didn't say who he was telling what to who. He just said, I'll tell them different things. I'll tell one of them that the rope is hidden underneath my bed. I'll tell the other one the rope is hidden on the second floor attic, and we'll see who gives it away.
Well, maybe he put it like that. He was trying to root them out, and
right.
This is just a classic trick.
Yep. So it gets to nighttime, and well, it shows. Well, no, it's like Gilda and Emma are having this really heartfelt moment where they're sort of becoming friends again, or it's sort of like, I was so worried, but we'll always be together, won't we, Emma? It's like, yeah, come on, it's cool. And Norman and Ray are having this, like, sort of contemplating why there are such things as traitors. Why do people betray each other? And Ray puts it out as like, probably they were, like, guaranteed to live, If they gave away their friends, that they wouldn't be sold, That's probably a good logical reason why. He's like, I see your point. And Norman takes this information back to Emma, and he asks Emma, if we figured out who the traitor was, would you still take him with us? And Emma goes, yeah, I'd do that. He's like,
because
why? And everyone's like, why? Why would you do that?
Well, I love everybody, and if we leave him by, he did.
Yes, she's like, well, if we escape, there'll be no reason for them to keep him or her alive, so they'll die anyway. So, I'm going to save him or her as well. So, Emma and Gilda have this connecting moment. It's kind of cute, And then...
Everybody goes to sleep.
Oh, no, sleeping time. And then what happens in the middle of the night?
Gilda gets up. Oh no, Gilda's the traitor.
Yep. It even shows this. It goes to Isabella's office, and someone slips a note underneath. And she opens it up, and it says... What did it say?
The rope is under Norman's bed.
Yes. And then it shows Gilda standing in front of a door, as if it was her. And then...
The door opens. Or maybe she opens the door.
I think she knocked and the door opened.
And it's Sister Crone.
So it wasn't her. Or maybe she's a traitor in another sense. Maybe she's been keeping tabs for Sister Crone. Maybe there were two traitors.
The plot thickens.
And it turns out Nope.
Nope.
It turns out Sister Crone, remember last episode when she had the very serious fate look on her face, and Sister Crone singled her out in her mind? Apparently she had approached her and said, hey, is anything bothering you? You can always come talk to me if anything's bothering you. So she does. She comes to talk to her. To tell her, look, I want to thank you for your concern, but nothing's the matter. I just really wanted to thank you, though. To which Sister Crone calls her out.
She's like, Emma told you everything, didn't she? Didn't she?
And Gilda has that, the child caught in wrongdoing look. She got that.
But fortunately, Gilda's able to save the day, recompose herself.
After Sister Crone's like,
Crone, you're just fucking freaking me out.
It's like, look, I just came in to tell you, me and Emma had a fight, and then we made up, and I didn't want you to worry anymore. And Sister Crone has that look on her face, like, fuck.
Man, I so close to Isabel.
And she's like, okay, well, hey, the offer still stands. If anything happens, you can always come talk to me,
you
dear.
You can always come and trust me, dear Sister Crone. I ain't gonna ever cross you.
I'm not insane in the least. I don't talk to a plushy baby that I have and rip the head off of. No!
My baby's still fine.
Yeah. So that ends in Gilda coming back to the room, seeing Emma awake. They greet each other. They hug and cry for a little bit. It's aw. Meanwhile, back in the boys' room, Norman and Ray go to look for the rope the next day. They go to the second floor attic. It's still there. Okay, all's good. Whoever they gave that information to didn't betray them. Got it. They went back down to Norman's bed. There's no rope. There's no rope. To which Ray then goes, I knew it.
It was definitely Dawn.
I was fucking Dawn. I knew it. To which then Norman goes, you're right. You have figured out who the traitor is. It's you, Ray. To which Ray has this look like, the fuck?
He's like, oh shit, he 200 IQ'd me. Fuck.
And credits. He was like, you son of a bitch show, don't you stop it right there.
Yeah, so, I think he did say that he was going to tell Dawn that the rope was under the bed, but then he went and told Dawn that it was elsewhere.
Possibly. I think he definitely set up Ray. But then Ray said that thing, Ray explained why there was traitors. Instead of going, I don't know why there's traitors, he specifically said what he was offered. He was offered life. He was offered to live. Because he's always been a little, like I said, when he watched the kids go, Emma and Norman go off to the door, to the gate, and he, I don't know. I think maybe he did know more. Maybe you were right.
Maybe he did. Yeah.
And he was pretending not to know.
He was pretending that he didn't know.
Because there's still those contextual clues.
Wow,
because like you said, the first episode, what do you want to be when you leave here? Such and such. If I survive,
yeah.
There's still those clues there. It's like,
he was lying to us in episode 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yep. So,
but Norman was able to rat him out.
But it's like they're the three protagonists. I mean, how can he be the fucking traitor? It
was Norman the whole time.
Well,
he's just doing some fucking 5-dimensional chess. He's like, I got you, Ray. You're the fucking traitor, even though I'm the one that's the traitor. Every time he sort of it's like I can't help but go, what did you do, Ray? Because I love Ghostbusters that much. But it's, I don't know what to think about that. I mean, Ray's the main character. I thought he was one of the main protagonists. I didn't rule anybody out, to be honest. I said that before the episode. I haven't gone and read the manga yet. Yet, keyword. You heard it. But I will probably go read it after this series concludes. Because I don't know if it's going to get another season. I hope so. I'm loving this to death. Even though it's probably the top seller, Manga is super popular. Well, it's also a shonen, isn't it? It's part of Shonen Jump, didn't you tell me? Yeah, it's in Shonen Jump. So if it's in there, yeah, it's extremely popular then. Nearly everything that's in Shonen Jump is popular as fuck. Well, I don't know, but I did check out to see how many chapters there are.
Yeah.
There's over 100 chapters. So
Lovely.
there's tons of material for them to adapt.
Yeah.
If they so choose to do a second season.
Yes. Oh, we forgot a key point of the episode, though. We forgot a key point.
I didn't forget anything.
Norman, basically, when they're talking, he goes, you know what? 10 days. We're doing this in 10 days. And they're all like, what the fuck? Yeah, but you said the handoffs are like every 2 months. So we still had like a month and a half to prepare. And Norman's like, 10 days. Because that's what Mother has instilled you to think that, it would be, Mother's playing us and then it would be playing into her hands to wait a month and a half and train everybody.
Yeah.
So we'll do it in 10 days. And then he's like, well, what if everyone dies in 10 days? And he's just like, hey, we did what we did.
No skin off my teeth.
We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta do what we gotta do.
Like, if we have a whole entire party wiped up, whatever.
So, yeah. So we're gonna leave in 10 days, but one of the main 3 protagonists is the goddamn traitor somehow. I want next week to come right now. I want to see how this keeps going. I'm so tempted to read the manga, but I don't want to ruin it for myself. So, anything negative about this episode, though? Because we've gone on about how much we love this episode. What is there anything that might have annoyed you about it?
Nothing annoyed me about it this week.
There was one thing that kind of bugged me.
What?
Twice in the episode, they went Doom the movie on us, and we're like, we're going to do Steadicam, and we're going to make this...
The whole first-person view.
Yeah. And it's like going to be, look like fucking Amnesia, The Dark Descent.
Well, this didn't bother me as much as it did in Recreators in the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
When the guy's walking up the stairs, and they have it in first-person view, and of course, since he wears glasses, they have the whole view of the glasses, and...
Yeah.
If you wear glasses and you're looking at this scene, you're like, this is just completely wrong, because they're showing the middle part of the glasses, and you're blind in that spot. You actually cannot see the bridge of your nose.
Sort of, I can sort of see it if I look really
Well, maybe if you go cross-eyed. I saw that!
So, but it's just, it drove me nuts because it was Steadicam. It was like, like it was pretending like it's walking, but it's doing the very steady, fluid motion, and it drove me nuts. And it turned the world CG when it did it too, and it would just look.
I wasn't really bothered about that. Nothing will bother me as much as that Recreator scene. Not even
Zombieland Saga CG dance scenes.
No.
Is he worse than that?
Those are really bad, but.
So yeah, that was pretty. If I had to complain about anything, that's just to be fair, to go with give it some kind of bad mouthing. That's what I had to get. That's what I had to say. I didn't like that part. Other than that, I love the characters. I mean, Isabella's still a very intimidating bad guy. I love how she's like the evil Dumbledore here.
Evil Dumbledore.
Well, Dumbledore seems to know everything that happens at Hogwarts, even with shit he's not there. It's like she's that. Even the scenes when she's not there, she calls Sister Crone out. She's like, I know exactly what you're doing.
I know what you're doing, Sister Crone.
Like, you play tag with the kids specifically for this reason, and you're chasing down certain kids to try and figure out the secret to try and report it back to HQ. I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, you can't outsmart me. I'm playing 8-dimensional chess here, and you just got no chance.
I mean, she is intimidating as fuck. She's like if Dumbledore and Lady Tremaine from Cinderella had a baby. She's just that. And she's scary. Sister Crone is hilarious as fuck.
See,
and also, actually, she's terrifying too. When she goes insane in front of a child, and she's doing that insane thing, when she said, Emma told you everything, didn't she? And she's trying to intimidate Gilda into telling her the truth.
She does have some creepy faces.
Yeah, she was like, I'm just sitting there like, I need an adult, please.
Now, the one thing that I would like to know the most about this is the lore. How did the demons come to rule this world and
that's
start
the thing.
Farming kids to eat them?
And that's another thing. Is this Earth? If it's Earth, how do the demons have control over the entire Earth, or just a segment? Are they doing it for the shadows? And there's these secret human farms. I mean, what's going on? Is it all over the planet? Is it a different planet? Is it a different realm of existence? Where are we here? These are questions I need answered.
Spoil it for us in the comments below.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Oh shit! I told them not to. Now they're gonna. Fuck. Don't. Yes. Tell us. Tell us everything in great detail. Reverse psychology.
That's 9-dimensional chess there.
There we go. Okay, so that was The Promised Neverland. Still amazing, still awesome, and I can't wait for next week. Any closing thoughts?
I can't wait for next week either.
Awesome. And that was Anime Talk for week 4 of Winter 2019. So far, nothing really bad. I mean, you still maintain second episode of Kaguya was. Would you say the worst of this season so far was week 2 Kaguya?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, what would you say would be the best so far?
I mean, there's another show that I'm watching, which is just a fucking terrible train wreck.
Right, but that's not really of this season. You're watching it this season, but it's not of this season.
But, we're not covering it in this show. Maybe I'll cover it at some point.
But, so, I mean, it's amazing. Every time we think, okay, last season, that was like the best season we've ever seen. There's, next season's just not going to compare. I think this season is definitely comparing.
Spring 2019 is going to be completely terrible. And, it's going to be the worst season of anime we've ever had.
Yes. Well, let's see what happens. But with that, we're going to go ahead and end this episode here. Guys, we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you had fun. If you did, please let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you all next time.